podcast. My name is Lisa, aka Yo Yarn Girl, coming to you from the Denver, Colorado area where I live with my family. So happy to be back with a regular podcast, and it's 2023. Wow, can't believe 2022 went that quickly, but it did. Just drinking some cold raspberry tea out of my cup. It has my name on it and sisters on the back and the different places where we live. This actually was gifted to me by my older sister a couple of Christmases ago. I believe 2021. Yeah, 2021. So really like that cup. So a couple things just to get started off. 2023 opened up with a bang for me, but everyone is okay, and we're all getting back to our normal routine. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but just really quick, day after New Year's, David, my husband, suffered a heart attack, but he is good and on the mend. And then just yesterday, last night, my daughter had a car accident. Again, she's good. Her car, which we call Goldfinger, is not so good, but good thing is we are all in good health and moving forward from all of that. So I hope this is it for us for 2023, and everything else is just bright and cheery. With that said, I am going to go into basically what my projects will be for 2023, and then I will show also some gift knits that I still have here because of all the events that we had at the beginning of the year. They were late because I was still finishing up some knits and then just didn't get things in the mail before the holiday came. And then we had those life events happen, or really the one big life event happened, and was just putting pieces back together, and then this happened. But everything is already either in the mail or will be in the mail at the beginning of this next coming week. So I have a few finished objects that were at the end of 2022, and then some whips that are 2023, and some that I brought over from 2022. But a lot of this is going to really focus on just what the plans are for 2023 for Yo Yarn Girl, and we'll go from there. So first things first, and I will insert a video, but I have a winner from the last Vlogmas. I announced a giveaway of a girl in her wool, and I will show you what the giveaway was. I showed it there, but I will reshare that. And let's do it this way. This is her 2022, January 2022 colorway. And for those of you that are familiar with Lauren from A Girl in Her Wool, she is no longer dying. So I was part of her sock club. I did her 50 gram and a 20 gram mini, and really, really enjoy her yarn. So I wanted to share that with someone else that maybe did not get an opportunity to use her yarn, or did and really love it. But several of you commented on what your favorite colorway was from my advent. I did an advent from A Girl in Her Wool for 2022 and really loved that. And so our winner is Melissa Friedrich. So congratulations, Melissa. I'll insert a little video of where I drew for that, and just get in touch with me. I have an email, yoyarngirl@gmail.com. If you can private message me over on Instagram, which is yo_yarngirl. But just reach out to me, and like I said, I will get that in the mail to you, and as quickly as possible. So congratulations. Okay, so we are at my first podcast for January, and I promised I would be picking a winner from the comments that consisted of a comment containing the word A Girl in Her Wool, because this is going to be for yarn from A Girl in Her Wool. So here we go. And the winner is Melissa Friedrich. So congratulations, Melissa Friedrich. Please get in touch with me. You can email me. You can message me, private message me over on Instagram at yo_yarngirl. yarn girl, and give me your information and I will get that skein of yarn out to you in the mail. Day's Advent from A Girl in Her Wool. So moving right along, I'm going to go right into finished objects, and I will just tell you it's hat heavy. So kind of was hats for the holidays was my thing. So this is, and I knit several of these. It's the 2x2 hat by Ann G. It's a worsted weight hat, and here's one. And this is in my all-time favorite, one of my all-time favorite worsteds, which is Lions brand Fisherman's Wool. And this is just a 2x2 rib. It's a free pattern actually up on Ravelry. And 2x2 rib hat. And you're just casting on and doing 2x2 rib, and for the amount of time that you, the distance that you want to do it for, the length, I guess I should say. And yeah, that's the hat. So that's the 2x2. And as I said, I made several of these. So here's another one. Again, this is out of the Lions brand Fisherman Wool. This is just in their brown colorway. And again, just a really nice, classic, simple hat. Keeps your ears really warm. Here is another one that I did. I have my little 2023, I'm sorry. Progress keeper on there. I'll take off. That came in my Yarnable subscription for January. And this wool it's a Caron cake, and this is an acrylic blend. I think it's like 20% maybe superwash. The Lions brand is 100% wool. No, it's not superwash, so those will have to be hand washed. But this one was cute. So that will be going to a gift recipient. What am I talking about? Recipient. Words, Lisa. And this is that same hat. However, I didn't carry the rib all the way up, so I changed over to stockinette. And the recipient of this hat, actually, I made mitts for last year, I think. So I happen to have another skein of this yarn. This is a Knit Crate yarn, and also 100% wool. And so they will have a matching hat. And then the last one out of this is also 100% superwash merino wool, and this is by a chick that knits. This one is super squishy. I'm just going to put it on for you to see. Love this hat. So hopefully I'll mess up my hairs. Okay, so those are my 2x2s. Lots of 2x2 hats. Okay. All right, moving right along. And then I have the, this one is called, I'll have to put it up on the screen. I thought I had written it down on my notes, but I guess I didn't. I did. This is the Citrus Hat by Laura Treadway. It's also a free pattern on Ravelry, worsted weight hat. And this is for a little recipient. It's navy blue, and this is in also 100% wool. There we go. It's better. And it's in the Patons classic wool. But yeah, super cute, super easy. I think I knit this in like an afternoon. I got this one finished, so And this is actually one that I did in 2023. And it's kind of a ribbed hat. Also free pattern up on Ravelry. So I said it was hat heavy. And then this one I actually think I'm going to keep. But I am going to knit more of these because it's a cabled hat, and I did knit this in a day. It's a bulky weight, and I use an acrylic blend that all this stuff is stash. So I had all this yarn in my stash, which is great. I'll go over to Carla Knits and I'll enter all these in her stash down. So anyways, I've had this stash for a long time, so this one I won't be putting in there. But this is a Bernat. It's an acrylic blend. It's like 70% acrylic, 30% alpaca, baby alpaca. And it's super soft. It looks a little rustic, but it's super, super soft. And it's cabled. And this hat is called the Tilda hat. And they also have mittens to match. And I think I have another skein of this in my stash, this color. So love the hat, absolutely love the hat. And it's bulky, so it knit up super quick. But I think I'm gonna, which has the mittens have the same cable pattern down the hand. And so I think I'm gonna knit the mittens up. But I haven't even, this, like I said, I did, I think last week, right after David came home, I think, and we were just kind of sitting around. So I have that one end to weave in. But I think this one, like I said, I'm gonna keep. And it's just a really nice cap. So, really, really like this one. My daughter said this morning, can I have that? It's like, I don't think so, but I'll make you one. So, I think I'm gonna keep this. So, I don't know, I'm just really, really loving knitting all the hats. So, but yeah, another great pattern. Okay, and I think that is it for finished objects. So we will go right into whips. I am working on I did a test knit for I want to say it's the Yellow Farmhouse yes, it's the Yellow Farmhouse. I did a test knit for her. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I'm back. My daughter called and I needed to take that, so I had stopped. But I was talking about this sock that I was knitting on, and this is by Dana of this Yellow Farmhouse. And it's a cable sock. And I knit a pair, I did the test knit, and I shared these, I think, on maybe podcast 11 or 12, which I don't think I said at the beginning of this episode. This is episode 13. Can you believe it? 13 episodes already. So it's a cabled sock, and it's called Oh Holy Night Cabin Socks. So it's Oh Holy Night Cabin Socks. It's a worsted weight sock, super simple repeat, and really, really love it. It knits up really quickly because it's worsted weight. This is in Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted tweed. And I'm trying to think if I've got the yarn ball, so I can tell you what color it's in. This is in the Vineyard Heather. And this is Wool of the Andes tweed, worsted weight yarn. But super quick knit. And like I said, you can go back to my episode 12 or 11 and you'll see the pair that I did as a test knit. And I did those in a Lion brand Woolies. And I wanted to do 100% worsted, so I got these. And these are just in a bag from Amy from Noble Character Crafts. It's still a holiday bag, but that's okay. So that's that. So I am working on a test knit for Christy Archer Designs. Christy Archer's Designs designed a cardigan, and it's called Sticks and Stones. And I, just because of everything that was going on, just life in general over the holidays, this test knit goes until the end of February, so good thing for me. But I just actually started it, and I really, really am enjoying it. So let me share it. I'm also doing this out of my out of Lion's Brand because I had it in my stash. I actually ordered. She's using worsted wool of the Andes tweed for that's what she used for hers, and I had ordered some, and it hasn't arrived, and I was just tired of waiting, and I wanted to go ahead and get started. So I said, you know what, I've got enough stash, and of course I'm in the middle of a row. But this is what it looks like so far, and it's a raglan cardigan. But can't wait to get this off the needles and share the entire thing. And this will come out, I think she said she wants to, it should be out like the 1st of March. So, again, super quick because it's worsted weight, but it's called Sticks and Stones, and it's going to be a raglan cardigan. So, really, really enjoying that. So, I actually have been knitting on this at night while watching some TV with David. So, that's kind of it. So, there you go. So, let's see, some more whips. So I'm still working, and I'm not going to share it, but I'm still working on my Felix cardigan, which I was doing with Wool Needles Hands, Taylor of Wool Needles Hands podcast. She finished hers, the knit-along's done, but I will finish that. So let me kind of move into 2023. 2023 is going to be just sweater heavy for me. I'm trying to knit all the sweaters. So a couple things. I want to take all the sweaters that I have as whips that I want to continue and get all those done. And I hope to have those done within the first quarter of 2023. And then 2023 will be all the sweaters. So, and I'll do little other projects in between that, but I really want to focus on some sweaters. I think I talked before about wanting to have some classic pieces in my wardrobe. So I am going to be knitting up some classic sweaters. The one sweater, another whip that I brought over into 2023 sweater-wise that I'm going to finish is my After the Rain by Heidi Kermeyer. That was also a knit along with Jana of Purl Together. I did not finish the knit along with them, but I am continuing to knit on that. And that's almost like kind of like a sweatshirty feel to me. So I'm going to continue that. And I think Young Folks podcast, she's doing a bougie sweatshirt knit along, and I think I can I can follow along with them because I still have enough that's there. I think whips were allowed, but I may kind of use this for that knit along. So I will, and I will kind of share. I shared in a previous episode, it would have been one of the later ones where I was. I actually have quite a bit done. I don't have much more to go other than the sleeves and finishing up the body. So I do want to get this one done, and I will, but that's it. So really, really like this. Love the colors. Love the yarn, and this is a DK weight sweater, and the yarn is from A Girl in Her Wool, so this will be one that I definitely cherish, and every time I wear it. But it's more it feels kind of sweatshirty, and I think it's one that I will just throw on with a pair of jeans, and it'll be really comfortable. So I'm looking forward to getting this one finished and being able to wear it for the rest of the winter and then into the spring, because I think this will be one here in Colorado that I'll be able to layer up maybe with like a long t-shirt under or a t-shirt under, and if it gets warm out, I can take it off. So super excited to get this one done. And then another sweater that I am bringing into 2023, it's a whip that I didn't really do a whole lot on. I really put this one aside just because it required a lot of focus. It's a color work, and it's by Jennifer Steingass, I believe. Yes. And this is called Silver Lining. And I'll pop a picture in because what I have, it shows the chart and I don't want to show the chart. So I'll pop a picture of this, and I don't think I have a picture of this. It's just the front. I don't. So I'll pop a picture in. And it's a really, really nice sweater as well, colorwork sweater. So I look forward to getting through this one, and I'm using, I think this one I'm using Cloudborne worsted. It was some stuff in my stash. And then I bought for the color work, I did buy a skein of yarn from my local yarn shop, and it was it's by a local dyer. So I'll list all that below, but yeah, those are 2 sweaters that I'm bringing over into the new year, or 3 actually, the Felix, After the Rain, and my Silver Lining, that I will finish, and will go along with my theme of sweaters for 2023. But I do plan on 2023 being garment heavy, and with that said, it's going to primarily be sweaters. One thing that I would like to do, and I haven't picked a pattern for yet, is some sweats of some sort. So I know there's several sweats out there. I know Natalie of Nitty Natty, she was doing some pants with her kind of sweatshirty, sweat panty type pants with her Advent. I don't know where she is with that, because I think she put that aside during Advent just because she had a lot going on as well. But she was using her Advents to stripe the legs of that, which looked really cool, what she did have done. And I've seen some on Ravelry that I really, really like. And then there's one out there, and I'll throw it across the top because I have it actually in my library, and it's done out of, I think it's Lion Brand woolies, if I'm not mistaken. And I've got a lot of Lion Brand woolies in my stash. So I might just knit those and see how it goes. And then after that, maybe I will do something more along the lines of what Natalie of Nitty Natty's doing with hers, because I do like the colorful look. I think I would like that. I don't think I would wear it out anywhere, but it would be great to lounge around in. So that being said about the pants, I was talking to my son, and he was saying, well, Mom, why can't you just design some pants and I could rock those for you. So we'll see. Maybe I'll try and work something up, but he wants it has to look a certain way, and he's all into fashion and trendy stuff. So, but I thought about that maybe for his girlfriend to make her, I think it's Bad Wolf Knits. I think she has shorts that Nitty Natty made, and I thought those would be really cute on his girlfriend. So maybe I would make those up for her, and send those to her, and try and maybe do some pants or something that he can. They live in Florida, so it's not like they're gonna wear these a lot, but we'll see. Maybe there's some pants in the works for Lisa. So, okay, so that's that. So now I am gonna look down at notes, because I did write some notes. Another sweater that I do plan to knit up this year is the Classic by Espace Tricot. It's a fingering, it's a DK weight. It's fingering and then like a mohair or a lace. I'm gonna do a fingering and a lace weight, but I think this is also one that's just a classic sweater that I can throw on with, in the spring, maybe some white pants, and the sweater, depending on the color, it might be purple, but it might not. So I may do it in black, or I may do a cream color, and then I could throw it on some black pants. So either way. But that's one of the sweaters that is going to be new to this bunch that I definitely will knit in 2023. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe like Knit Picks has that gloss fingering, I think, or lace weight. So that would be good to pair with a fingering weight. I am gonna continue down the hat road, and I'm gonna knit a lot of hats in 2023 that I'll be using as gift knits, and then I'll also be adding some socks to that. So one of the hats that I plan to knit is the Grow hat, and that's by Fiber Tales. And I think she had a sweater maybe that she released called the Grow sweater. I know she has another pattern out there that is the same design, but this hat was recently released, and I added it to my library, so I have the pattern already. And I'm going to use, again, some yarn from my stash. It's a DK weight hat, and this is vintage, Barocco vintage DK, and this is a blend. This is an acrylic blend. It's 52% acrylic and 40% wool, and then 8% nylon. So I think this will knit up really nicely for that hat. And she, in the pattern, the picture in the pattern, it's similar, the colors are similar. It's a different yarn, but she has a similar color. So I'm gonna knit up that hat, and I've got several skeins of this because I had purchased this for a sweater. It's been probably a couple of years, actually. It has been, it's a couple of years, and I ended up not making the sweater. So it's just been sitting in my stash, and I'm like, you know what? I'm all about using up my stash, so I'm gonna knit that hat up. And if it knits up nicely and I really like it, I can knit up a couple in this same yarn because I've got several skeins of this that I can use that for. So I'm excited about that. So that being said, I do have a couple other things that I'm going to mention that I'm looking to knit in 2023, but I want to jump into so I don't make resolutions because I make them all through the year. So just one time of the year to make resolution, I don't do it. Years ago I did, but I have not done resolutions in a long time. But I did kind of jump on the trend wagon of choosing a word or a phrase going into the new year. And this year my word is really mindful, or mindfulness. And that being said, I'm trying to be more mindful of my emotional and mental health. I'm being more mindful of my time and how I spend it. I want to be more mindful of my friendships and just relationships that I have out there. And then, of course, I want to be very mindful of my finances and how I am spending. And although I'm very fortunate to be able to buy lots and lots of yarn, I need to be a little more mindful of just having a bunch of stash. So I will give you a quick glimpse into my stash. Whoop, it's a lot. So I want to work my way through my stash. That being said, a lot of the patterns that I am now gravitating towards are worsted weight, DK weight, and I have tons of the one skein sock weight. So I am looking at things where I can double yarn up and do things like that nature to where I can get through my stash. So I'm not limiting myself to saying I'm not going to buy anything in 2023 for yarn, because I am. I'm just going to tell you I will. So there is no yarn diet. There's yarn mindfulness. And I think really for me, it's mindful intentions. So it's kind of a phrase, but mindful is really what I'm focusing on for my word. And when it comes to yarn and yarn stash, it's being looking at that with mindful intentions and really looking at knitting something, doing intentional knitting. I'm knitting this because I want to wear it to an event, or I'm knitting it because I want to have it in my wardrobe to wear. I need it to be a piece in my me-made wardrobe. So that's the kind of stuff that I am. Sorry, I'm looking outside because I'm looking at a parking spot that I'm waiting on someone to show up, and that's somebody took the spot. So sorry. Anyways, squirrel. But I want to be mindful of what I have. I do have some worsted skeins that I've, I guess, had throughout either purchased or from knit subscription or something that I've had through over the years. I have a couple of skeins from Knit Crate, which they are no longer in business. So, you know, didn't love my crate, but I did like some of the yarns, you know, as far as just the crate, you know, I could just do the skeins of yarn. But anyways, digressed. I want to be mindful of my stash and knitting. So that's kind of where, that's really initially where my word came from. And then there were so many other things that I need to be mindful for going into 2023. So that's my word for 2023. And that's kind of how I'm entering 2023, is to just be more mindful when it comes to me and who I am. So if you have a word or you have a resolution, nothing wrong with resolutions. If you have a word or a resolution or a phrase or something that you are owning in 2023, comment below, because I'd love to hear what you've got going on for 2023. So a couple of other things. Have some babies coming in the family, so I've decided to use some of my yarn, and I will be doubling that. I'll be taking some fingering weights that I think would look really cute together, and I'm going to make the garter ribbed baby blanket. This is by the Orange Flower Yarn, and it's just a cute 2-row repeat. That's the blanket. It's a DK weight. It's just a 2-row repeat for the pattern, and then it has, you know, a border around it. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, and so I'm gonna try and make at least, I know there's 2, I mean, babies that I know for sure are coming, but I think I will knit this up and just have as a baby gift for someone that, you know, says, oh, I'm having a baby, and it's like, oh my God, great, I got a gift already. But I'm gonna knit one up, see how it looks. It's the projects that I looked at, I like it, and it's simple. So, and I'm all about simple and cute. So I think this will make a nice gift. So I plan to knit up a couple of these for sure. And then the other thing that I plan to do in 2023 is, this is going to be the year of dishcloths for me. Dishcloths, washcloths. So I'm going to make the pattern that Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady's been using, and it's just a garter stitch diagonal dishcloth. And I've got tons of cotton yarn, again, knitting from my stash. I have lots of different brands of cotton yarn, so I'm going to take that and knit up a bunch of dishcloths. What I plan to do is one a month. Maybe I'll do it more, but one a month. And again, it's something that I'll have, you know, either it'll be for me to build up my stash of dishcloths, or I will, I'll have it in my gift box and I can give it, you know, as a last minute gift. I'm going somewhere, oh my goodness, wrap up a dishcloth with some soap, or, you know, washcloth with some really nice bath wash or body wash. And it makes a really nice handmade, partially handmade gift that I think people really appreciate getting. So I got some in my Advent with my swap partner, Claudia. Hey, Claudia. She knit me up a couple of washcloths, and in fact, I've got one over here. Sorry, I want to quickly show you. Don't know if I shared this or not, but, and these just are so useful. I mean, you can get, they're so useful. So I was super appreciative in receiving this. So thank you. And that being said, she was my swap partner for my Advent that we did through Carla Knits. And I'm sure Carla will do that again for this year, but it was a lot of fun opening that up it's 12 days. It was a lot of fun opening that up. And then my partner from the previous year, Peggy Bork. Hi, Peggy, if you're watching. We just did a little bit of a swap. We did like 50 gram skeins, and we actually plan to knit that up together this month. And hopefully we will. I just with everything happening, and I reached out to her, I haven't been able to get all that done. So we will do that. And Peggy and I see each other on different podcasts. We see each other on I think a couple of Facebook groups. So we will definitely, and then on Ravelry too. She's in a lot of the groups that I'm in. So we definitely keep in touch with each other. So that's a good thing. And I really think that is it. I don't really have a lot of acquisitions. I did buy a couple of more skeins of my all-time favorite, Lion Brands Fisherman's Wool. This is, like I said, 100% wool. And I actually purchased 3 skeins of this, which would be plenty to do, because there's 465 yards in this. I mean, you can't beat the price for the amount of yardage that you get. You can get it at Joann's. I think Michael's does carry it as well occasionally, but I know Joann's typically has it. And for the quality of it, you can't beat it. It's a lot of times on sale. You can get it from anywhere from like $13 a skein or ball, whatever you want to call that, to $9. I know that I usually get mine when Joann's has a sale, and so I'll pick them up just to either do hats or something like that. I know that I talked about doing a pair of socks, and I actually am working on a pair of socks, but not in this wool, by the Autumn Acorn. It's her cable sock. It's the Magic Heel worsted sock, and it's got a cable pattern in it. But anyways, I was going to do those socks out of this yarn, and Christy Archer was saying that the socks don't necessarily hold up really well in this yarn, especially if you're going to wear them in boots, I could imagine, because there's no nylon in this. It's 100% wool. But I think for mittens and hats and all that, it would be fine. So I know one thing I am going to make with this particular color are the Fire Pit Mitts by Taylor of Wool Needle Hands podcast. She has a fingerless mitt pattern, and she has shared that on her podcast several times. So I am going to make up a pair of those, or a couple pair of those. So I think those will make really, again, cute gifts, and then just really nice to wear. So I'm going to make a couple of those up. I have that pattern in my library, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a flax out of this, or I will do a weekender. So those are 2 other sweaters that I do plan on knitting in 2023. I will do a flax, and I am going to do an Andrea Mowry, and it's between the everyday, I think it's the everyday Drea Renee everyday sweater, or that's a sport weight, which I have yarn for, or I'll do the weekender. And if I do the weekender, I'm going to do it in that. I'm trying to think. Colorado Knits just put up a podcast, and she's done several of the weekenders, and she's done a couple in acrylic yarn. So that was really nice to see, and they look really cute. So she was kind of saying, like, I feel on that it's like more like a sweatshirty type sweater that you can just lounge around in, or you can dress up and wear out. So she kind of knits them up like it's just, a lounge around sweater. And what better way to do that than to do it in some squishy, soft acrylic yarn, and it makes a reasonable weekender. So totally get that. So I think that is it for the first podcast of 2023. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad that you guys are here. I do want to send a huge thank you out to all of you that watched my Vlogmas. It was my first time doing Vlogmas, and it was definitely a work in progress. I'm looking so forward to 2023's Vlogmas. I'll have more of a plan, I think, going in. And same for just the channel. My podcasts going forward, I think, are going to have more of a plan. There's some things that I am trying to work out and fine tune for just some things that I really want to focus on for the channel for 2023. And then of course I've got my shop that's still, and it's really just about the bags. It's a work in progress, but we are closer to the release date of that. So you will be the first to know when we've got the site up and ready for you to shop the Yo Yarn Girl bags, but they will be coming in 2023. So thank you for being here. If you like what you see, please come back. If this is your first time, I hope you like the podcast or something that you enjoyed from it. Don't hesitate to like, subscribe if you want, and we'll see you soon. Until then, happy knitting.